What is up, Raffalitos? Welcome back to my channel. We're back at Bagottown. This is a new signboard here at the entrance to this new highway. It's the road connecting Bagottown to the Eccles interchange. Right, this is the new road connecting Bagottown to the Eccles interchange. The road is now open and there's a lot of traffic on a Monday morning. We've just passed Eccles. Right, that's the signboard. I've already talked about these signboards. They don't meet international standards. They're not the kind of signboards you'll find on highways in other countries. That's the Eccles Assembly of God Church. That's where we are. And what we want to do is to take a follow-up look at the new Demerara bridge. That's the new Demerara River Bridge. It's now over, 2 weeks? Just over 2 weeks since the last time we've looked at this bridge. We want to see how far they've come. I thought it would take 3 weeks for them to get to the riverbank, that is in paving the ramp, getting the ramp up to the riverbank. So that's the ramp. You can see from this distance. This is the East Bank public road at Bagottown. The next village over is Peters Hall, and we're going to get there in a few minutes. But this is Bagottown. The next village over that is north is Eccles, and beyond Peters Hall is Providence. So you can already see the bridge is over the public road. You can see that that's a ramp to the Demerara River Bridge. It's already crossed over the public road. Bear with me a moment. My stabilizer, my gimbal is down, so I'm waiting for a new one to be shipped to me from Amazon. In the meantime, we're back to dealing with shaky video. Hopefully in a week we will get back to normal when my new gimbal arrives. But this is what is happening here at Bagottown, Peters Hall. Now it's a Monday morning and it's about 7:30. It's about 7:30 a.m. on a Monday morning in Guyana. Traffic coming towards me is heading to Georgetown. It's on the western side of this public road. You can see these yellow barriers in the center. Those are Jersey barriers. They prevent head-on collisions. They are actually standard protocol in most countries, dividing two-way traffic. And it's one of the few places in Guyana where they have actually been implemented. They need to be implemented throughout the country to deal with the safety issues. We're coming out of a week where a lot of tragedy has happened. You can catch a glimpse of the bridge between. What you can see here is that if you can't see clearly here, but the cables have been installed on this tower. The cables connecting the tower to the bridge have already begun to be installed. You can see them I can see them, of course. I don't know if they're clear from this video, but you can see, or I can see, cables connecting those pillars to the bridge, the section of the bridge below the pillars. So those cables are beginning to be installed. And we're approaching the entrance to the old Demerara Harbour Bridge at this intersection. What I was about to say is that we're coming out of a week of tragedy. There was the drowning of a child, the death of a child who visited a hotel pool, and as a result of that there was significant unrest, and before that 2 young men were shot and killed, and since then other people were shot and killed. And the reason behind all of this is a lack of safety. So my reference to these Jersey barriers as a safety measure applies to everything else outside of the traffic and road safety realm. That means everything in Guyana is unsafe. There is no attention to safety. And so in the case of the death of this little child, the issue was in fact a lack of pool safety measures. A lack of pool safety measures that has spiraled into a political and religious conflict. But this is the bridge. Let's see, in this view you can see the cables from the tower, the bridge tower. So they've already now attached a few cables from the bridge towers to the section of the bridge below the towers, and they've done that in fact to both there are always people who want to see. I got you. So here is the second bridge tower, and you can see cables attached. And this is the Demerara Harbour Bridge, the old Demerara Harbour Bridge. Less than a mile away, it's about a quarter of a mile. That's about a quarter of a mile from the new bridge. Like I said, it's 7 o'clock on a Monday morning, and surprisingly there's not a whole lot of traffic heading to the west side, but the traffic going away from us is driving towards the west side of the bridge, west side of the river, Demerara Harbour Bridge. This is the pedestrian overpass here at Peters Hall, and of course that, for reference, is a little store here. It's a little restaurant that provides early morning breakfast. But this is what we're here to see. You can see in the distance that the ramp has been extended at least 2 more. See, the ramp has been extended at least 2 more sections, 2 more gaps towards the river, and it's that much closer. In 2 weeks they've added about 2 or 3 sections, two sections, probably moving at about 1 section per week, and my guess is that last time I was here that it would take 3 weeks to get to the riverbank. I thought it would take about 3 more weeks to get to the riverbank. Well, 2 of those 3 weeks have passed, and they are closer, but not by much, about 1, 2, they've closed 2 more gaps. In other words, the ramp was 2 pillars shorter than it is in this video today. But to finish that thought I was making is that there is no consciousness for the lack of safety protocols and precautions in Guyana. So on the point of the little girl dying by drowning, there was no record of pool lifeguards who were trained in CPR, which would be a necessary requirement at a public pool, or a pool that is accessible to the public, such as the one at the hotel. There's no record of anyone talking about CPR training, lifeguard training. When they searched the pool, or they claim to have searched the pool, nobody dragged the bottom of the pool, nobody went into the pool, nobody dropped a coin into the pool to see in fact how deep you could actually see into that murky water. And so I don't trust any of the arguments that the pool was searched and they didn't find her. The pool wasn't searched, they surveyed it. Even if they jumped into the water, nobody dragged the bottom of the pool, which is what a safety protocol would require. So it's a lot of mess, and I've stayed out of the mess because I'm aware of the extent to which there's a lack of safety in Guyana. It's one of the reasons why I don't drive in Guyana, despite all of the stupid comments I get from some very silly people. I'm fully aware of how unsafe it is. But back to the bridge. So it seems as if there is still a significant section of the bridge that has to be completed. That is a ramp that has to be completed to get to the bank, the river bank. From this point, let me see if you can see those cables. You should be able to see cables from that vertical tower, those cables connecting to the platform underneath the towers. So they've already started to attach cables to this cable stayed bridge, but there are still several gaps to be filled between where the bridge is now and where it needs to be. The ramp needs to be to get to the riverbank. So this is where we are now. What you can see in this view that's different from the last time you were here is that they have completed the sections past the road. So this is the public road, and the last time we were here they were working on this section. They were working on this section, which is between pillar 2 and 3 west of the public road. And now they have completed the gap between pillars 3 and 4, and they've started working on the gap between pillar 4 and 5. So they've added 1.5, a little less than 1.5 maybe, certainly less than 2 sections in the 2 weeks since the last time we've been here. But they are making progress. Here again is another view of the towers. So there's a lot of overhead wires, those black wires running horizontally to obscure the actual cables on the bridge, but they're white cables now connecting the bridge, the tower, to the bridge. Now this is the section of the ramp that has been completed. We don't know how far it goes. I think it actually goes to the ground. It has been completed all the way to the ground level. The ramp, that is, has been completed all the way to the ground level. East, right east of the bridge. And this is looking west of the public road. That's the public road looking north towards Georgetown. And that's looking west. So what we're saying is that they have completed 1 gap, 2 gaps, 3 gaps, and they're working on 4, so 3.5 gaps since the last time we've been here. And they are at least 1, 2, 3, probably 4 more gaps, 5 more gaps before it gets to the riverbank. There are 5 more gaps to be completed. So my guess that is at least 5 weeks, because they're completing these distances, these gaps, at 1 per week. That's what's happening here. It's a Monday morning, and workers are actually showing up for work at the Demerara, the new Demerara bridge. That's looking east. We're now going to walk under the bridge. They've closed the gaps between these concrete beams connecting the pillars, and they've already, I guess, started to work on the road bed that is going to lie on the ramp. So this is what it looks like in this direction. We've just passed under the bridge basically, and that's what it looks like looking east. We're now entering Providence. That's the Ramada Hotel, Georgetown Ramada Hotel and Princess Casino.